the TP5. Switched to speed and more control. Switched and completed the career Grand Slam. The tailor-made TP5 and TP5X. The ball you switch to. To be at your most elite, you need to play an iron with elite speed and elite feel, with elite dispersion that combines an ultra-fast speed frame with a revolutionary AI 10X face. The future of iron performance is elite in every way. Play elite with Callaway.
Shop the July summer sale at Sherwin-Williams and transform your space with color. Get 30% off paints and stains with sale prices starting at $34.29. Hurry in, July 18th through the 28th. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams or shop the sale online. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
To get up, anything to...
Out to the 15th, and let's listen in with our Sky coverage with Rory McIlroy set to go.
That's a mistake. Such a shame. After the tee shot gave him the shot where he could hit spin, you'd have thought he might have tried to land it just beyond it, but that's not an easy up and down, but very doable for him. So good.
This wind is perfect for the left-hander. It's out of the left. It's a nasty flag. I'm not saying he'll have a crack at it, but he might be tempted. A-time with a little bit of help out of the left.
A show. It's Brian Harman. Like I said, a couple of years ago, we thought he'd back up, but he didn't, and he looks like he's in a similar sort of mood, because this is just world-class golf. Great drive, 18. It's not an easy hole by any means. 6 harder sheets today, and that's made it look easy.
All right, so Brian Harman there with a chance to get to 8 under par and have the lead outright in the clubhouse. Meanwhile, let's check in on both of our feature groups and see what's happening there.
Straight here for Spieth. Just careful of this pace, careful of the pace. Don't go too far by. This could go a long way by. That was the problem. That's how steep it is at the front of the green, and that is going to go off the green. That is a big mistake from Spieth, and the second time today that he's really misjudged the speed from off the green.
The other time he's referring to is the 11th, when he ran it some 10 feet by from just off the edge, which was his lone bogey of the day.
Just not used to seeing things like that happen with Jordan Spieth.
No, and his speed otherwise has been perfect. It's just those 2 putts, which may end up costing him 2 shots today. As Haotong Li just climbed to 7 under to tie Brian Harman. Haotong Li back at Royal Birkdale shot a 63, and then it was I think Brandon Grace on Sunday shot 62 to set the all-time major championship scoring record.
But who was the winner that week?
That would be Jordan Spieth.
That would be this man right here, and that's where the Open will be played next year, Royal Birkdale.
And back up the green. The mistake here is usually to leave it short, but this one was good for pace, but it's a bogey that I think, Johnson, you'd say was a relatively cheap bogey there.
It was, after such a beautiful hybrid coming into the green. Steve, you appear to be pretty good at trivia. Wonder if you could tell me who won the only November Masters in the history?
You love that from Live for the Masters, don't you? You come on the set with us 1 year and you're making fun of me 2 years later. Come on, man. Dustin Johnson. Ah, that's right. That's your favorite off-air TV joke to say to me? Every time I see you, you ask me that question. It's really not right, Tom. Come
coming here to fill in for Damon Hack, help a guy out. Johnson's over here busting my chops.
Just doing the right thing and getting a hard time. He actually, Ludwig finished in a really good spot here, putting up the hill, and he's not giving it anywhere near enough.
Ooh.
That was a big mistake there. I'm surprised that he did that, because I think standing over that putt, Johnson, you'd fancy it all the way. Feel like you can give it a run.
Yeah, and as we're sitting here watching our group play the 16th, it has just become the most difficult hole on the course today, and we're getting a look-see why this hole location seemed pretty benign.
All right, so we'll see what Ludwig Gobert can do to finish that up. Meanwhile, let's go back up to Rory and our friends at Sky on the 15th from off the green.
It did, didn't it? Looked like it had to go in. But that's well done. Shame he only had a 60-degree wedge in his hands, didn't really give himself a chance. My power chalked off.
You just joined us. 2023 champion golfer of the year has just finished with a tournament best so far, 65. 8 under par, currently leads by 1. Hatton finds himself now 3 back.
Caught that one a little bit low on the club face. Going to come out of the heel just a shade.
Bob hit the absolute perfect tee shot. Sees the green, sees everything in front of him. You'd fancy this one within 10 feet. Huge divot. Just a bit long, but it's not too bad. There you go, right there, just by the sprinklers. Left-handed, so he won't be standing on that, won't get a drop.
Got some performance from Harmon. Bogey free the last time he did that, which you believe was in round 2 at Royal Liverpool, on his way to winning.
Well, just every other year, Brian Harmon, I guess, is the American version of Ian Poulter. Every 2 years, Ian Poulter was the best player in the world for a week at the Ryder Cup. And every 2 years, Brian Harmon is the best links player in golf. Look at what he did today. Made that birdie on 18. He is now the clubhouse leader at 8 under par. Keep in mind, 2 years ago when he won, he had a 5-stroke lead after 36 holes. It was the largest 36-hole lead at the Open since 1934. And Brian Harmon one clear of the field. Haotong Li, though, plenty of holes left to try and see if he can match or surpass where Brian Harmon is right now. Tyrrell Hatton just hit a fine tee ball on 18. Matthew Fitzpatrick, or Matt Fitzpatrick, excuse me, is now 5 under, having birdied the first hole he played. There you see the Højgaards. It's all Højgaard all the time here on the All Access channel. And Tony Finau back in action. Scotty Scheffler inside half an hour until his tee time, world number 1. And let's go back out to our All Access coverage.
Hawkins. Yeah, I found one the other day called The Billionaire. I scream at that. I always wanted to be a billionaire, so I bought one.
Keep going. It's on its way. It's run out of steam for Rose. When he made that 7 and 11, you wondered, is that going to be a huge body blow? It's a setback, but it's not the fall.
Well, since that, really. I mean, you know, you make that 7, and you go from being very comfortable and thinking about the lead and what is the lead, and then all of a sudden you're back at level par. You start thinking, what's the cut? So the psychology goes from lead to cut. I don't want to miss the cut, and it doesn't matter how good you are, you're going to have that thought at some point. And now he's made a couple of birdies. He's completely comfortable. Just one more, and now it's not going to come at 17. So a birdie at 18, and I think it's been a good couple of days.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there. The fact that that 7 can make you take your thought away from leading the golf tournament to suddenly thinking, hang on a second, am I even going to be here at the weekend? That is most definitely a thought that will have gone through his head. This is an uphill putt for McIntyre. He can be aggressive with this. It's going to come left to right.
Has it got enough weight? Oh, yes, it has. What a beauty. Absolute beauty. Never missing. Lovely pace. Just left to within 3.
Deserves that. Really does. The setback at 16, but he has played so well that he deserves around a 5 under. I think the minimum he deserves today.
Yeah, and let's be honest, the US Open at Oakmont, the second place finish there, to me, is the making of the mentality of Robert McIntyre that he can win a major. Because I honestly believe that you can run that close and get yourself to a point where in the last few holes you can still be the winner and not really put a foot long, because he didn't. I think that was the making of him.
Now, this is an important putt. The cut line at the moment is 2 over par, but we think if Bryson gets to 1 over, there is not a chance he is missing the cut. And it has just started to rain as well.
Well, that helps everybody that's on 2 over if that's where they finish. But as you say, you don't want to be on 2. You want to knock this in par the last, or in birdie last, then it's even better. But he's on the round of the day at the moment, or tie for the round of the day now with McIntyre. He can get a 6 under here. Nearby green, I think it's the 13th nearby, so just waiting there. And again, it's very makeable. Not a lot of breaking.
It is shit like that.
Thoughts the round today.
Fucking drives me fucking crazy. I mean, how many times am I gonna hit on the edge of shit and bounce back? I mean, fuck you.
65.
I don't like. That's the part of this game I don't like.
What a performance that is. 6 under par from him.
Downhill.
Fuck
Slightly left
you.
right.
I mean, goddamn, buddy. You don't always hit on the edges to go to the fucking hazard.
It's always it. What a fantastic birdie that is.
Well, from the sublime to the ridiculous.
Well, Bryson DeChambeau, look at his round today. 6 under as he gets set to play the 18th hole. That is going to, as long as he doesn't like spontaneously combust on the 18th hole, he is going to be around for the weekend. Just an unbelievable turn of events for Bryson DeChambeau, and we'll see what happens and how close he can get as we continue our all-access coverage here on Peacock. Trey Wingo, Jay, Big Cow Guy Croucher over there, watching Tyrrell happen. What do you think of what we're seeing? We sort of had fun at Bryson's expense to start the show. We put 1,000,000 zeros behind his odds, and suddenly he has turned it around. Now, he has a long way to go to win, but he has put himself squarely, potentially, to be in contention heading into the weekend.
Yeah, it's still a long way back to actually win the tournament, but it looked like he was going to miss the cut.
Yeah.
And that seems to have been abated. Looking at a cut line now, the 2 over is probably going to get you through to the weekend. And so Bryson looking good there, and it's just really from where he went seemingly mentally, from throwing his clubs around, walking down the course as a modern figure, with just these arms to hold on, to where he is now, I think shows the type of year that he's had, where
God, golf is such a hard game for me. It is so hard for me, and I don't understand.
Closest competitor to Brian Harman in the clubhouse right now is Hao Tong Lee, 4-time winner on the
It is just so fucking hard for
the
me.
8th hole, excuse me. He's already through 7. That's
I mean, hit a great shot a second ago, and it just
that really sort of show Jay the imagination you need to play links golf.
Just give me a club.
Yes, you have to hit greens and hit fairways, and you have to putt well. But on a links course, I think thinking your way around the course is as much as anything, because it's different. You're not going to have these straight shots and these straight routes to either fairways or pins, and you have to be like look at the way they're getting off. Send that one into the great beyond. But you really have to sort of use your imagination to find different ways to get the ball to the hole.
Yeah, and that's been the story for Hao Tong Lee this tournament, is that in particular his approach game has been excellent. That's really what's propelled him. He's been insanely hot with the putter. He hasn't been that great off the tee. It's been the creative iron play that's got him in this position where, to be top 2 at the Open Championship on day 2 is quite impressive for Lee.
Tyrrell already staring at the sky. Is that a good sign? He's got to cozy this one in to stay within 3 of Brian Harman's lead. Oh, if this doesn't go, look out. All right, well done. Prices are wave to the crowd. whose sister continues to play well, and very well on the LPGA, and continues to rack up impressive wins. What do we fancy about Terrell and his composure? We know he has the game. We know he has the skill. He was in the middle of it at the U.S. Open at Oakmont. But much like John Rahm, the battle for Tyrrell is within himself more than the actual golf course.
He's been able to keep the Tyrrell volcano from bubbling over so far this tournament. It's strange the overlap between the leaderboard at the end of Oakmont at the US Open and what we're seeing so far Royal Portrush, where Rob McIntyre, Tyrrell Hatton, two guys who've both been in the mix at both tournaments. Unfortunately, GSPRO hasn't been able to carry over that form, but Tyrrell Hatton played really well.
All right, now we take a look at Robert McIntyre getting set to play the 18th. Falling back a little bit, but still in fine form. And you know, we were listening to our Sky Sports compatriots, and they basically were saying, you know, even though he didn't win at Oakmont, but I think he's good. They felt like that he was able to show that he could be in contention. And don't you feel like sort of comfortable in that stage, sort of that arena? I think it bodes well for you going forward, and it feels like that is absolutely the case for Robert.
Yeah, definitely because of the manner of his performance at Oakmont too, where he really surged home down the stretch when, in theory, the nerves would have been at their most extreme. You know, he's had 2 top 10s at Open Championships, second at the US Open. He does seem built for this.
I do love that exaggerated pre-shot routine, especially with the driver that Justin takes. For those who are wondering why, he's just making sure that he gets that lag. You know, make sure, because that's where you get all the club head speed. That's where you get your force. You get that lag behind you and whip through with the club after your hips clear. And that's what Justin is sort of always working. That's an apex of 27 feet. That's the definition of a stinger for sure. And Justin Rose finds himself in contention. Let's go back out to the course, and that is Victor Hovland, who has eschewed the 3/4 zip. Victor always has very interesting wardrobe choices.
Your thoughts, Trey, on the turquoise pants?
Hey, they look good on him. I want to be clear. I don't know if royal blue is something that you or I would rock, but hey, if it works for Victor, it works for Victor. That definitely worked for Victor. Victor on the cup, +1. Sneak a couple in here in the last and get in there. Disappointing for him, I'm sure, after being so close at the U.S. Open last month. Or coming up just a little bit shy. Well, just horrific conditions down the stretch where they had rain delay and the course just got soaked. Oberg. His approach. Farther off the tee and farther away with his birdie attempt. So, very pedantic iron shot there from Ludwig Oberg. Take a look at Jordan, who had it in red figures, but has now evaporated into the mist. So we take a look at Royal Portrush from below. So as we continue our all-access coverage here, again, Brian Harman is in the clubhouse as your leader at 8 under. Let's take a look at how he got there. This was his approach on the 18th after a great drive, and he liked it the entire way. And that's the beauty of links golf, he wasn't playing to the flag. He was playing to the number where he thought he could run it up. He was absolutely short of the green on purpose. And you take a look, Jay, at how the odds have moved for our current leader at the Open.
Yeah, so Brian Harman, he opened 130 to 1 to win the Open Championship. Now he's into +650. He's the second favorite. just behind Scotty Scheffler. This entire odds board is going to get reshaped as soon as Scotty Scheffler tees off in 15 minutes. But you can see, even to just be in the top 10, he was 7-1, which means about a 12-13% chance to even do that. Now he's minus 350, so north of 75%. So Brian Harman, he's making his bid to be the Bruce Bochy San Francisco Giants, winning every other year. They were the even year team. He might be the odd year man with the Open Championship.
Tremendous cross-sports reference from Jay Croucher. That's the kind of knowledge we get. And Brian Harman is there atop the leaderboard. He's been consistent. He's been on tour 14 years. He's made the FedEx playoffs 14 years in a row, and he's making a bid to potentially win his second Open Championship. He leads by one. We lead everybody.
The all-new Pro V1 and Pro V1X. Where there's excellence in process, there's excellence in performance.
All drivers claim they have great performance, but it takes game-changing leaps in innovation to create one that's truly elite. With an advanced new shape, revolutionary thermoforged carbon, and a breakthrough AI 10X face, it delivers incredible distance that's up to 8 yards longer with even more forgiveness. The future of performance is the new elite driver from Callaway.
Let's go over some of those gestures. Do it. What was this one? Do you remember? Follow the leader. That's okay.
Hands-free highway driving for a hands-on life. Ford Blue Cruise. The Flame. For centuries, it has brought us together. It's a symbol of unity, connection, a shared experience. It's an invitation to gather, to find common ground, to be part of something bigger than ourselves. So as we come together this summer, with family, friends, and neighbors, we're reminded that when we gather around a flame, we share so much more than a good meal.
Just stunning scenery. Royal Portrush, cliffs overlooking the Atlantic. The third time the Open Championship has been at this course, last 2019. Before that, 1951. And as you see these overhead shots, it is just noticeable, like unlike so many links courses that you would play, and where on the rota, the rotation of Open Championship courses, very few bunkers. Only 62 bunkers on this golf course, as opposed to the hundreds you'll see on so many of the other links courses where we will play. And there is the entire buffet, open for your sampling. Would you like to check in on Robert McIntyre and Bryson DeChambeau? You're welcome to. Jordan Spieth, Ludwig Oberg, also one of our feature groups. We have our par 3 channel, which is holes 6 and 16. The 6th hole, as we're seeing Lee Westwood there right now, is Harry Colts. The 16th is Calamity Corner. And then we have our USA Sky coverage. And enjoy all of it, because this is what we do for you.
Some stage during the championship, because players can drive it on the green. But then that might cause a bit of a backup in play, because you can't see the green from the tee.
There's two up there for Spieth.
And that marker post behind the hole, which indicates where you need to aim at if you're too far back, playing here with the members. Of course, you can come and play here as a visitor. Tee times are limited, but it's not a completely private golf club. Most of the golf courses are over here. You can play if you're not a member. You can somehow get a tee time and pay your green fee and play. A little bit different than back in the US, where it's very difficult to get on the private golf clubs.
I have have to imagine, Tom, when those visitor tee times get released, that they sell out pretty darn quick.
They are almost immediately gone.
Settle.
I don't want to go too far by.
It's going to be a little bit of work, especially coming off that short miss on the last.
He has such a steady way about him. Doesn't seem bothered by anything, very even keeled. Seems like he has the perfect golf demeanor.
Yeah, it's something you notice, Johnson, when you're out on the golf course following. He just doesn't get too up or down. You wouldn't be able to tell whether he's 9 under for the day or 9 over.
That's such a great trait, especially for major championship golf, and certainly would have to think that he'll be a major champion by the end of his career, maybe multiple times over.
Yeah. This sure would alleviate a lot of pressure at 18, wouldn't it, Tom?
Well, the cut has just gone to 1 over, and the leaderboard to the left of this 17th green shows the cut is now 1 over. 70 players, so it could easily go back to 2 over, but this would take a little pressure off.
Drips it over the front edge, so Victor gets it back to even par.
Right to left. Off that slope.
These lefties.
You don't go there again. I've done so well today. I'm just decided he's not left-handed. It's just what it is if I'm looking at him as a right-handed player.
What kind of challenge do you get when you have a big mound behind the ball and you can't get down low? What do you do with that?
Go and look from the other side. It's the easiest thing you can do. More than anything. I think I might have just... Yeah, I still think this is slightly missed. Going to go right to left off of that slate, and then it might come back a fraction at the end. It's all about this. Come on, knock this one in. Around this would be.
Spot on. You were spot on, Tish. Definitely right to left. Just for the dip. As a man on the scheme, just pull off to the right. But it's a very good putt and what a round of golf. And the holes are going to have full appreciation of that 66.
6 birdies, 1 bogey at 16, which is a very tough hole where he missed the green to the right. But a great round for McIntyre. He's certainly right in the thick of things. 3rd position, 5 under as he finishes the halfway mark. This is putt should cap off the round of the day. This is for 64 from one of the, certainly one of the most flashy players in the game.
Do you know what? If he gets this, he's not out of it by any stretch of the imagination, which would be the most extraordinary comment, really. This is just going to break a fraction from right to left, Tony.
Extraordinary, isn't it? It's already an extraordinary round. This would be even more so. Great try. Wow. That was a brave effort.
Well, just a little bit too much pace. That was to go 78-64. But as it is, Bryson DeChambeau shows a tremendous amount of heart. He's going to finish out. This will be for the 65. It said 6 under par after an opening. 7 over par, 78. And these great players, they have so much heart. 2-time major champion, both U.S. Opens in 2020, 2024. And we would dearly love to add an Open to his resume. He's going to have a chance. He'll be around for the weekend. Many thought he would.
Yeah, and it's pride, isn't it? It's having pride in your appearance and your results. No one wants to miss a cut, but missing a cut as a major champion at the Open Championship, a venue like this, it says something about you, and it also says something very much about him that he's come back with that just tremendous score. And I think most people want to see him playing as well. You're right, Tony. He's changed his persona totally 360, and everybody loves to see him play golf these days.
Tony, every bit of 3 feet here for Justin Rhodes.
Yeah, just enough to get the heartbeat up a fraction. Well, it was a 3-ball, and I'm going to say we all thoroughly enjoyed watching today. It was professional golf at its best, I think.
Well, collectively they were 11 under par, but Justin Rose is even par, 71.
I'm not good at math, but that is a 13-stroke turnaround for Bryson DeChambeau from Thursday to Friday. 78 to a 65, and well inside the cut line at T51. What a turnaround for him. Robert McIntyre, though, did his job, made the birdie on 18, and the young Scot looking poised to make a run over the weekend. And Justin Rose, still in the thick of things at 2 under par. Our late group includes Xander Schauffele, the defending Open champ who won last year at Royal Troon. JJ Spawn, maybe he can get something going the way we saw Bryson DeChambeau, as he is +2. And John Rahm, a lot of people liked his chances heading into this Open Championship. And just a few moments ago, they were on the first tee, ready to roll. John Rahm with that stern stare, getting ready to start the second round, and let's listen in.
This is game number 45. On the tee, from the USA, the defending champion, Xander Schauffele.
Xander Schauffele level past 71 yesterday. Got the feeling there was some green shoots starting to return to the Schauffele game. We're coming off the back of that rib injury at the start of the season. Just not managed to find the quality of golf that led up to this championship last year.
On the tee, from the USA, JJ Spawn.
Number 10 in the world, JJ Spawn, 73 for him today, the newest member of the major club, and inexplicably, his debut. Open. Having never played in one before. Very strange. 73 yesterday.
On the tee, from Spain, John Rahm.
On par 70 for Rahm, the two-time major winner 2021 US Open, and of course the 23 Masters. Them. This wind has changed completely. It's going to be a different course for these players this afternoon.
Coverage of the Open.
All right, so all eyes on Rory McIlroy heading into this week. This was his birdie attempt to get within 4 of the lead on 17. Oh, a little frustrated sweep with a putter after missing that one, but now on 18. And let's check in with this group, including the approach of Jordan Spieth.
Trying to cut it in. Now needs the wind to bring it back. This is too far right. The wind's trying.
Come off of that slope. Just right of the hole in the fringe. Really good spot to be, actually. Good chance to make his second birdie of the week on 18.
And the world number one. Well, there's world number one, Scotty Scheffler, destroyer of worlds, looking for another major championship to go along with his 2 Masters and PGA crown. Again, the Open, the only place he's never had a top 3 finish. We go back to Ludwig Oberg.
That'll say able to spin it as well.
nasty weather is coming in, and they would love to get this finished before it starts to rain.
Yeah, they got the best of this weather. Moving over just his second Open Championships. How many times do we get to watch him through the years? Can't wait to see where this career goes. A warm applause for our morning featured group. Just the sights, the sounds, the scenes here of an Open Championship. The good folks here in Northern Ireland grateful for this third bite of the apple. 1951, 2019, and 2025.
I think this grandstand setup too, being wrapped around as opposed to the normal that we have kind of going down each side, it's such a different sort of feel.
Well, Scotty Scheffler, part of our featured group coverage. Again, 3 under par, only 3 fairways hit yesterday, playing alongside Shane Lowry, who will be a very popular watch this afternoon, the winner here in 2019, and Colin Morikawa, who's going to have to make some moves to try and be around for the weekend. Scheffler, the only player to finish inside the top 10 of the first 3 majors this season. He enters the week with 10 straight top 10s. But what to expect here? Smiles all the way around. You see his opening rounds at the Open. Been inside the top 10 a bunch. Never been inside the top 3. Never been on the podium, if you were. Let's see if he can turn that around. And again, there will be some weather coming in, so we'll see how many they can play before the skies open up. Let's listen in to this featured group.
Right here, so good top names in golf getting set at what has been a very nervy opening hole at Portrush.
This is game number 46. On the tee, from Ireland, Shane Lowry.
Man with a blue right here in Portrush after that win in 2019. This opening hole, though, most taking an iron. Hard to tell where the wind is when you're close right here. And then out there, you got out of bounds left, out of bounds right. Jim Bones Mackay out there with these 3 today. Wind freshening at his back. This is up the right center of the fairway.
Watch this ball roll. He said he's been thinking for this tee shot for weeks.
On the tee from the USA, Colin Morikawa.
They're way back in 2021 for Morikawa, Royal St. George's. Part of the celebrated group here first 2 days. Bunker finds it.
Yeah, it's 270 in that bunker.
On the tee from the USA, Scotty Scheffler.
3 under on day 1. He was just 1 off the lead going into the second round start of the day, and now he's 5 back. One of your favorites coming in, no doubt. You would imagine he still is.
Yeah, for sure. I think he hit a lot better than those numbers showed, like Dan said.
Hard to do better than that.
I'm lucky that ball got hit to a little bit of nut slope. It didn't really run, but right down the center of the fairway.
So an opening tee shot that you do spend some time thinking.
So on the first tee box, Scotty Scheffler has hit 1/3 of all the fairways he hit yesterday. He's 1 for 1 today. Things look better. Let's go back out to the 18th and this birdie attempt for Jordan Spieth.
Still a really nice round, 2 under par. Gets himself back into this championship. Level par for the weekend.
And the dark clouds are almost right on top of us here. And actually it looks, you know, in a situation where you could be having some dangerous weather coming. It's that dark and grey away to the left of this 18th green.
Just saw a radar from our Karen Stupples showing some inclement weather is indeed on the way. European Championship winner in her own right.
This would be a nice way to finish the day. Uphill.
Oh shit, what's that? Shit. What's that?
Maybe not move too much on this line. Just kind of stayed there, didn't it?
It certainly did. Almost looked like it went right at the hole. Still, he's going to tap that in, 4 under par. Great round. Start the day outside the cut line to play your way back in.
Rounds of 73-67 for Ludwig.
Thanks, gang.
With the kind of firepower
Thank you
that
very
he's
much.
capable of. Only sitting 6 shots back right now.
Yeah, in a good position to make a move over the weekend. As is this man, still plenty of golf left to play. For Victor back in 2022 at the old course.
I mean, just goddamn sit in the fucking hole, motherfucker. I mean, shit. I don't understand. It's complicated about this shit.
Yeah.
3 rounds in the 60s out of this group. That was a lot of fun to watch with you today, Dave.
Really was, Johnson. Tom, great to be with you as well.
Peace in the club.
Morning feature group shakes hands.
From 2 over on Thursday to 2 under on Friday, Victor Hovland in the clubhouse after 36 at level par. And there you see Jordan Spieth also level and Ludwig Åberg inside the top 20, 2 under, 6 back of our leader, Brian Harman. Meanwhile, let's go back out to the first hole and find out what world number 1, Scotty Scheffler, and the rest of the crew have in store.
I mean, that's about as good as you're going to get. I mean, it's a really difficult approach with that left leg, and he played it a few yards right of it. It's pretty impressive start there.
Good afternoon, Scotty. Now we see Colin Morikawa, winner back in 2021.
This sucks.
Looks like he's found that right bunker.
I mean, hit a damn different club. Fucking here.
Difficult. Got to get up over that lip. Trying to carry enough.
Gonna go up just short.
And there's another bunker down there waiting to gather it. Okay.
Fucking
Shane
goddamn.
steps
Where's
in.
my fucking club?
Caring of what's coming from a weather standpoint.
Oh, you can see it. It's hard to miss. The clouds are very black out there.
I mean, shit, bro. I don't understand the fuck the hell I do with it.
Oh, a little unlucky pitching into an upslope.
Quite on the level of this pin. And we're just getting started with our afternoon groove. Dodgy weather notwithstanding, we're going to buckle up, watch 3 of the best in the world at Port Rush.
I'm not sure some of these golfers have ever moved that fast in their life. As you see the approaching clouds and the inclement weather coming in, as Shane Lowry was hustling, ladies and gentlemen, to get out that rain gear. You see all the umbrellas are up, and as projected, the weather has taken a turn, and we'll see what happens going forward. It is, look at that sky. It is pouring right now. Brian Harman comfortable and happy in the clubhouse, one stroke better than Hao Tong Lee, who is still on his front nine. Hatton and McIntyre among those at 5 under par.
This is where golf started. Everything that golf represents is all going to be here. It's the greatest walk in golf. There was a titanic battle.
This golf course is still a challenge.
Oh my goodness. The champion golfer of the year is...
Orange County is back. Breaking out the rules, breaking out the rules. And so is she.
I'm Gretchen Roxy. This bitch has gone after me for 12 years. It's gonna be fun.
In Orange County,
Are you currently keeping any secrets? It's just amazing how she can throw friendships away like that.
the truth
Her stories don't add up and that she has an excuse for
I thought they were best friends.
is subjective.
And no plastic surgery. Not even these suckers.
The Real Housewives of Orange County. All new, streaming Fridays. Bravo on Peacock. Get dialed at Golf Galaxy this summer with deals on must-haves for your game. Up to $350 off select clubs from TaylorMade and Callaway. Chrome Tour and TP Vibe golf balls 2 for $95. And up to 60% off select shoes and apparel. Better your best at Golf Galaxy.
In 64, when everyone else tried to win on the straights, we won on the corners. Bending, swerving, blowing the bloody doors off. Floor it to your local mini dealer for unrivaled offers today.
Shop the July summer sale at Sherwin-Williams and transform your space with color. Get 30% off paints and stains with sale prices starting at $34.29. Hurry in, July 18th through the 28th. Visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams or shop the sale online. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Well, there you see the weather that is passing through, and that giant orange-yellow blob is just hitting Royal Portrush right now. The good news is, as you can see from our Doppler weather, traffic and weather together on the 10s here on the All Access Show, it looks like that will be moving through fairly quickly, and we might be able to just have a little bit of rain and then get back to regular play. Again, this is all the ways you can sample the coverage. We have our feature groups, the par 3, and then, of course, USA and Sky Sports. So let's listen in and enjoy the coverage now.
A left miss today is way more doable than yesterday.
And as Rory waits for the rain there, you can see that Versant on his back there. USA Network, be a part of this Versant new media company that you're watching this Open Championship on right now, along with some others as well. But there's the Versant logo on Rory's bag. And now Fleetwood seems like he's finally ready to pull the trigger.
8 iron.